without you. Can't see my life without you. Anything you want, love, I'm for it. I love the way we flow, I adore it. Yeah. You know that I'm the one, I see it in your eyes. You know you found the one, I see it in your smile. And I want this love to last forever.
We got no reason to be holding back. Our love, singing the moment, making us forever.
Taking us forever, baby.
So let this feeling slip away.
Please don't let it slip away. Please don't let it slip away. Oh, no, no.
Hey everybody, welcome to another week of Everyday People, the community podcast. I am your co-host Lynn Katoa, and my lovely co-host this week again is Celia Moldeni. Welcome, how are you?
So good.
It's good to see you. And we also have here Elenoa Saafi Totai. She is the owner and founder of We Care For You. So welcome, how are you?
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'm doing great.
It's so lovely to have you ladies here. Let's just get her mic'd up real quick. Yeah, so anyway, so Elenoa here, she is, like I said, she's the owner of We Care For You. So the next segment, we're going to go ahead and go deeper into that. But before that, we were just going to kind of go over the events like we do every single week. And let's just get right to it. Before we get started, though, let's remember to click, like, and share our podcast so everybody can see what's going on today.
Yes.
And again, we are coming to you from Lake House Studio. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, ladies. Well, let's get started at the top with the Miss Samoa pageant. Have you guys been following that?
A little bit here and there. They just are so beautiful and elegant.
Oh my goodness. I know you've been following it because we had a conversation before we started. What are your thoughts on that?
I love seeing these young ladies walking the stage with confidence, knowing that they are representing themselves to be the example for next generations, or young ladies that are out there that are looking to be a part of the program. So I feel like this is a great program that they put up. I love the energy. I love the love that the vibe. It's pretty.
Oh, the vibe
great.
seems to be on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, the 15 contestants are gorgeous. Their talent, their gowns.
Yeah,
I mean,
their
their fashion sense is amazing. I mean, the whole production that they're doing for this pageant has just been.
And their interview
so
answers, I'm so impressed with how they answer the interview questions. I was watching some of those contestants answer.
Yeah.
So eloquent, so mindful, and amazing.
Very demure.
Yeah.
That one interview, though, what's her name?
I bet you I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Miss Pacific Climate Warrior?
Yes.
Wow. Did you have a chance to watch that interview?
I didn't.
Oh, wow.
She killed it. I mean, I'm getting the chills just thinking about it.
I mean, I'm chilling in my back of my head.
I mean, one of the
Wow, I
questions,
love it.
what her question was, I think something about like our culture and the silence.
Ooh.
I mean, I just got the chills again. It was so deep, and her answer was so amazing. Like, what did you get from her answer?
You know what? I really feel that needs to come out now. Their voice needs to be heard. Our women needs to be heard, and to be understand the way we are treated in our community and in the island especially. I mean, to hear what she said, she was very bold. She was
very bold.
She was like, I'm ready for a change. We cannot keep hiding this under the mat. We gotta make some change.
And the changes that she's talking about, since you didn't watch the interview, the whole silence was the whole like domestic violence. The domestic abuse. Like.
I think that that's pretty common in our community.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, I work with our community and I see the darkest parts of our community, but I do see a lot of that happening. But it stems from our childhood, even like having been raised in violent situations, physical, verbal abuse, and so, what a wonderful answer.
Oh, I mean, she went really deep. She went as far as like family members, like just incest and stuff like that. I mean, she hit it home. I mean, it was a tough conversation to have.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, right? They were crying.
They were crying because I feel like they were feeling it too. They feel that this is a conversation that needs to be spoken of, but it's been very silent, and sometimes the kid's voice comes to the parents, and then the parents silence it.
Yeah.
So you never hear. You're very familiar
Yeah.
with this situation.
Yeah.
I wonder
And
why that is.
There's so many
shame.
connections. There's shame. Sometimes it's the sibling of the parent, or we're so caught up in the perpetrator and their feelings,
Yes.
or the family connections and cutting those ties off. We believe so much of family over everything in our culture, but in
Yeah.
those situations, we don't really know what to do, and so we just we don't have the conversations. We don't know how to have conversations around that, and then we brush it under the rug.
Yeah.
And so the victims just continue on with their life, and that is actually more harmful. What I'm seeing in my office, when they're not being heard, than the actual sexual abuse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
hurts even worse when they're being silenced.
yes,
Yeah.
but they're not safe as well.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
'Cause they
not
no longer-
safe
yeah.
with their family, their parents. They're the one that's supposed to be. They're supposed to be taking care of them, to be
Right.
safe with,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yet they're not safe. And it's very much the same in the Pacific Island
Yeah.
community. So
I mean, it's really deep. And I want to correct myself. I did say incest earlier, but sexual abuse is the right term. But I just want to figure out how do we even break that cycle? What do you think the steps are in your line of work? What do you think that we can do to kind of try to at least?
It starts with the little minute things, teaching our children emotional identification, being able to identify their emotions, what's safe and what's not, what's appropriate and
Yes.
what's not, and being able to verbalize that. And naming our body parts, you know what I mean?
Yes.
We don't really talk about our certain body parts because it's taboo or it's disrespectful. But if we teach our kids that, their private parts are just as, we have to learn the proper names just as we do our knee, our elbow.
Right, so just
starts there.
educating everybody.
Educating, having them speak up at a young age so that we can know and identify. And then also educating ourselves as adults. What do
Yeah.
we do then after they tell us?
Yeah.
Because it's such a high percentage. It's not so much if, it's sometimes now when it's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I think a lot of the adult, even I myself too, really was not taught
Yeah.
anything that you said. We were told just to be quiet and all of that. Just be quiet. And how do we as mother teach our daughters or our sons what to look for?
Right.
I mean, I think that's also very hard for us mother to kind of talk about these things because we were never raised that way. We were raised as a lot of subject that you don't talk about, period. Just be quiet, go to your room. And then the silence is still there. And then they carry that from generations to generations. But the goal is to cut tie with those old generations and really look, like for me, my little family, we're not perfect. But I changed a lot of things in my own circle that I was not taught back in at home.
Yeah.
So
Right,
I
and
love
you're
that.
saying, it's the whole silence, and silence could be deadly. We learn things as we get older. So I'm just trying to figure out how we can change that.
Yeah.
So we start at a young age, like you were talking about, naming parts. Having those types of discussion.
Yeah.
SEMA specific, climate warriors. We can talk about this for days.
Yes,
But it's
forever.
forever. But people are talking. So congratulations on an amazing answer and the competition. So. Good luck to everybody else. We can't wait to see who the newly Miss Samoa Pageant 2024 contestant, the winner is going to be. So the Polynesian Festival, you were there. How was it?
Oh, it was wonderful to see just our community come together and all of the food trucks and just the entertainment was awesome too.
How was the entertainment?
So good. I think it was Bonafide.
We gotta
that
go
was,
next year, right?
That was
Yes,
there.
next year, next
yeah,
year.
it was so awesome. And then Nadrua and they were amazing. And so just so
It
good for
looked
the kids
busy.
and family.
It looked
to be
so
out there.
busy.
Yeah.
It's always busy.
Yeah, they were above capacity on Monday. So
Oh, and you were
that's
saying that they
Wow.
even had to turn people away.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It was so
Well,
great.
looked like it was amazing. Congratulations on a successful event. We also have another event coming up this month is the Creative Pacific Foundation Week, which is going to kick off on September 23rd. Just log on to their website, creativepacific.org for details and for ticket prices. We also have tomorrow is the Spirit of Polynesia at the Draper Amphitheater. So there's only online purchases, so make sure that you go onto their website. There's going to be live music, hula, fire dances, food trucks, you name it. It's going to be pretty dope.
Check that out.
I don't know if this is their first if this is their first event.
It's my first time hearing about it.
Me too.
Me too. I
Yeah.
just read about it, so I thought I'd get everybody involved, because we
Love
want to
it.
be everywhere. And then also Breaking Bread with Kava Talks is going to be on September 21st at the Rose Park Recreation Center. It's at 10 a.m. if you guys want to join me and the Kava
sounds
Talks and
good.
Everyday People. 10 a.m. is where we prepare the food, and then 12 o'clock is when we start feeding the unsheltered.
Oh, nice.
It was an amazing
Oh, I
experience.
would love a reminder.
Yes. Oh, well, I will remind
Please,
you guys.
Thank
remind
you.
me.
But we served about 139 unsheltered people that day.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
it was
awesome.
an amazing experience. So thank you, Susie, for always keeping me posted on that stuff. But it was just amazing to see, or not amazing, it was just crazy to see like the different walks of life that were there. People that you would not even think that would need the help.
Really?
But nobody understands what we're going through these days.
Yeah.
So it was such a blessing to be there. And it was my first time, and I'm going to do it again because my soul needs that as well.
Yes, we all do.
So needs
So
that.
share.
Please remind me.
Yes.
Definitely. Also, I was talking to you two earlier. I was watching this video of the newly appointed Queen in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I mean, let's give a moment of silence for that. You know what I mean? Because it was so powerful.
Really?
It was so powerful. I think she's the 8th monarch. I don't want to give any false information, but if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go online and check it out. She did not say one word, but she said everything.
She don't need to.
She don't need to.
Silence speaks a lot.
It does. And I also, so the first former prime minister said that she will be the face of renewal.
Ooh.
I mean, I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
What are your takes on that? What do you think he meant by that?
The Maori people have been going through a lot in the last generation. We've been stripped from our culture, stripped from our language of or even just speaking it. And so before I left New Zealand, I was around 12 years old. I went to a Kaupapa Maori school, Rotongahere, and I was in a bilingual, fully immersion Maori school. I think what they mean by this is they're going to reclaim the things that were taken away from them. And they've been working on that. I mean, they've done such a great job in implementing Kaupapa Maori schools throughout the country. And so you're seeing that more of us or more of them are speaking Maori. So almost everybody there is familiarized with the language and the culture. And so it's beautiful to watch. And I think this new queen has, the past has set the stage for her to now reign.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I mean, that's a lot to take on at
Yes.
27 years
It
old.
is, yeah.
And I think she's been preparing for this
Yes.
role.
Yes,
Everybody
she
have
has.
a role in life, and she understands that role.
I'm
really
like, yes,
well.
she has. I've been preparing her. I'm like, yes, she has, girl.
Yeah, she's got
been
this.
preparing for the last 3 years.
Think of her ancestry. Whew.
Yes, she's
Right?
got a community behind her.
Yes.
Just like what you do. You have your community behind you, backing you up in what you do.
Yeah.
And you're doing amazing things.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yes, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you watch it. It is very powerful.
Definitely gonna go home and watch that.
Me too.
Yes, and it's all over social media. So the next thing, I just want everybody to remember to register to vote. Let me just say that again, register to vote. So the deadline for here in Utah in person, well, you can vote November 5th in person, but by mail or online has to be by October 25th. So remember that October 25th online, or it has to be in the mail to them by the 25th, but then you can also vote November 5th. Are you guys registered to vote?
I need to register to vote. So I think I told you I became a
Yes.
citizen 2 years ago.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
and
So you still
so-
have time.
Did get the kids to
Gotta
vote.
register to vote. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that we need to keep pushing. You know what I mean? Because we were having conversation earlier today, no matter what side that you're for, you just have to look at the bigger picture, understand each candidate, what their policies are, and so that would be a good way for us to engage in conversations. Because right now I feel like there's just a wall divided. So if it doesn't pertain to them, then they don't care.
Yeah. No, really.
You know what I mean? So, and I've
So
been
you
at
have to
fault for that.
bridge the gap. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I need to do better at bridging the gap. I'm just starting to get new into politics because of my husband, because he's all into the politics.
Right.
So I'm learning a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, so-
it's good that you have
Yes.
someone that it's into it, so he can kind of educate you. On
Right.
What you need to
Yeah.
know.
So he gets home and I catch myself watching CNN or whatever news channel that's on. I'm like, who the hell am I? But I think it's good. It's been really good. I've been very well informed, and it's just
Good.
great to see everything. So make sure that everybody registers to vote. Let's see, again, it is September, and the food resources for September are on our website or on our Facebook on Everyday People with the free and weekly food pantries. So that's going to be amazing there. And also, next month, October 25th, we got bingo, okay, with Tina and Lay After Dark, partnering here with us with Everyday People. Tina and Lay, they work with a ton of nonprofit organizations, so we're going to try to bring a bunch of nonprofit organizations here to have some fun events, possibly have a prize for their nonprofit. What do we call it? Well, when you do bingo, whoever wins, they can take whatever prize to their nonprofit.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot how to speak. I need more coffee.
We all do, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be a great month. It's going to be a great show. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get back, and then we're going to learn more about lovely Elenoa here. And it's great to have Celia back.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you guys soon. Jesus, I cannot speak.
You're doing great.
Finally, I could let go. There's no need for damn time. Chip time. Yelling in my zone, been wanting my damn time. Hey, I'm about to buy all the special drinks at the bar. There's no drinking top of day on my calendar. I don't care, I just wanna be happy wherever I am. It's all about the jam time. Finally I could let go, there's no need for jam time. Jam time. Yelling in my zone, been wanting my jam time. Come on, I wanna feel that it with love once I hit the town.
Welcome back to another episode of Everyday People Community Podcast. Joining me with my lovely co-host Celia Moleni. How are you?
Good, thank you.
And then we have our lovely Elenoa Saafi Totai. She is the owner and founder of We Care For You. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we kind of wanted to get to know these two. For those of you who do not know who they are, Celia, kind of just give us your background, where your family comes from, and what you do.
All right, so I'm Maori Tongan. My mom is Maori. Her name is Rangiliahona Elkington. She's also a Wolfgram, so she comes from the island of Vava'u on her Wolfgram side, and then the D'Urville Island in New Zealand. My dad is Fisimemua Moleni. He's from Tonga, from the island, or from the village, Vaini village, and so grateful for him. I'm number 9 of 11 children, and then I have 4 children of my own. I'm a licensed clinical social worker or a licensed therapist, and I've been doing this work for the last 15 years. And I've recently opened up, in the last 2 years, opened up my own private practice called Manaki Mental Health, which means to cherish, conserve, and sustain your mental health. And that is, I opened up this practice for specifically for the people of color to be able to talk about their mental health and really change and heal from the inside out. And so that's my purpose in opening up my own private practice. Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I mean, we had her as our co-host last week, and we just want to apologize that you were unable to see the entire episode. I mean, but it was really, really deep. I mean, later on in the show, I kind of want you to discuss the whole SIFT.
Yes, I would love to.
And she's also a mastery method coach. Kind of touch base on that real quick.
Yes, I've just extended my services to basically the whole world. I have been training to become a coach, a life coach, transformative coach, really honing in on women and men in toxic situations or dynamics. because of my own experience and also bringing in the clinical background as well. I feel like I just want to extend my reach to people outside of Utah and all over the world. And so that's what my new venture is. But I'm also, I'm always going to be a therapist. But yes, coaching is one of my new endeavors as well. So yeah.
But I think coaching is going to be great. Like when you were talking last week, I even forgot to start asking questions because I felt like it was hitting home. Like you were directly talking to me. You know, and I think it's amazing that it's always normally we discuss or you hear people about doing therapy for women, but like she does it for men. So men, it is very, very important for you to kind of get the help that you need because it has to start somewhere. We need to break that cycle.
Yes.
Because I felt like you were saying things that I didn't really understand, you know, but growing up, I was like, holy crap. I think if this would have happened, I probably would have shifted a little bit this way. And it's good and bad.
Yes,
you know, so I think it's really, really important for men to get involved. So that is just great. I mean, what social media platforms can they reach you on?
So I have my coaching platform for men and women who are in toxic dynamics, Celia.Moleni. That's on Instagram. And then Instagram as well, it's Manaki Mental Health for therapy. So,
wow. I mean, you guys hear it here. You heard it here first. Definitely reach out to her or even just like follow her on her social media. Just the quotes that she puts on there definitely hits at home. You know, so I appreciate all that.
Yes.
And then now we have Elenoa here. Go ahead and give us your background, where your family's from. And
all right. It's good to be back. Thank you, Cindy, for bringing me back. I didn't really want to be here just because I was kind of like, I don't know. I've already told my story. And I kind of like,
but there are many
I
people
love your
out here,
story.
right, that haven't heard the story. And she wanted to come on and show her hot
but
red
I
shoes.
dressed
And I
up
love your
today
shoes.
with my
Yes.
red shoes, and I did my hair just for this. Usually I'm on my pickleball heads and run out. But anyways, it's good to be here, and thanks for having me back. My name is Elenoa Saafi Todai. I come from a small town. It's called Sopu. My parents is Inesi Saafi and Vaihoi Yafemui. What else? And I'm the oldest out of 8 kids. And I have 6 beautiful children and 5 beautiful grandkids. So I am truly blessed. I moved from New Zealand in 1999. And so I've been here ever since. Life here have not been easy for me. But to look back now, I would not change anything. I have grown so much to be the person I am today, serving our community and people are out there that needs the service that I provide.
Right.
I back in 2020, I was working for a client who his wife was she had dementia, and so I was working for him for 24 hours, 24/7. He's an attorney, and he was the one that tells me, you serve with your heart, you care, you love. He was saying all these beautiful things, and he said, you should be doing this as a business. I didn't really want it to because, of course, I didn't know how this is going to work out and what, you know, all the business world as far as caregiver. But anyways, he jumped online and signed it up. He came up with the name as well. We Care for You. And he said, you do care.
And this was one of your patients
Yes.
that came, wow.
So he become a family member. Him and his family become a family member to me. He's an attorney. He's helped me and my kids many times. And so that's what you have when you serve with your heart, when you love with your heart, when you go to people and you truly just serve, you know, good things comes about. So
well, and just like when you're caring for somebody, like we were discussing earlier, like perception is very, very important.
Yes.
You know, you're already doing something that you love so much and showing empathy and compassion and that love for your client that you're serving, sees it and then wants to help you build.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, talk about being in the right place at the right time.
No, really.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, for him, when his wife passed away, and for him to sit there and set this up and help me financially to start. You know, I wasn't in a position to do that. But, you know, when someone helps you that way. You know that there's somebody else in the process,
Right.
and in the building. You know that that is the Lord's hand. And I've witnessed that throughout my career and in serving my kids, my community, the Lord's hand. And you cannot deny that in anything that you do in life. You always have to give back.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I see you getting a little emotional here because you do have that passion and that drive, and we can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, girl, you about to make us cry? Okay.
Oh,
I
Not on my
know.
she
purple
made me
shirt.
cry last time.
Well,
That's why I didn't
love
want to be
story.
here.
I love your story. I mean, it's so inspiring to me myself as a single mom. Just hearing your story the first time, I'm like, oh, she can do it. I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's just inspiring to me as well. I mean, for many of us who have someone that, or a parent or a grandparent that needs to be taken care of, that know that there's people out there like you,
Yes.
or that you're providing a great service that you handpick, so you know that they're going to give the best service.
Yes.
You know, and like I was saying, talk about the right place at the right time. You know, you found
Right.
somebody who believed in you.
Yeah.
You know, and like you're talking about doing the Lord's work. You know, you need to give back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like he saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were
Yeah.
you were always doing it from a good place.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Your intent the whole time was really from a place of love.
Yeah.
How powerful is that?
But I wasn't always been like that. That.
Oh, the truth comes out. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there's always a truth behind that, right?
So before that, like those movies, rewind 10 years before.
Yes. I mean, going through what I went through, it was very hard. I have to work on myself a lot of time, and that's why I can relate with what you're saying, just like what you were saying when she was sharing, how we have to work on ourselves. Because in order to serve, you have to love yourself, and you have to understand you in order for you to understand anybody else. And that has to come from a place of fixing yourself. Feel peace, feel that you love, know that there is someone out there who loves you, because all you were told is that, oh, you're not beautiful, oh, you have this, oh, you have that, negative. And if in Tonga, growing up, going to school in Tonga, of course they'll call what they call at the end of the year, they call it the Manaki Tuunga. From if there's 36 kids in the room, in that class, they're gonna say, okay, the last person is, they would call it the dumbest, right? And so I will always be the last person, right?
Oh.
And so, and you can't imagine how that make a person feel. And you go to Tonga and you still see that happen. It's just so disgusting.
Like
to
you're
me.
almost just reliving it.
Yes.
When you...
So for me, it's thinking of who I am. I am a daughter of God. I am a queen. I am here for a purpose. And no one can ever tell me otherwise who I am. I know who's behind me in everything that I do, and I will grow. I didn't finish high school. I learned to read and write on my own. Even now, I'm still stumbled. Do I care? No, because I know who I am.
Right.
And I'm here for a purpose. I have 6 beautiful kids that were given to me, and my role is to take care of them. Their father comes and go, they go. But what is my role? Now I can be the mother and father to my grandkids and to my kids. So that's the change within me now. But back then I didn't understand. And I think this is why we want women out there, especially our Tongan women, because sometimes I can understand what these women are going through, that their husband left in search for another beautiful woman. Who cares? Whatever. But what are you doing for yourself, to take care of yourself, to take care your own responsibility? Because I tell you, you can do it yourself. If I can do it, you can do it. And if you think you can do it, we're here. We're here to help you. You don't need to do this on your own. There's people who's already gone through it, and that we can help you make that change. So.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go from there.
Sorry.
Mic drop.
I'm just going
Mic
on.
drop right there, definitely. But I think your kids are just obviously just so blessed to have you as their mother, because you were looking at the bigger picture. and you were doing something that you love, and somebody saw that into you, which allowed you to create this career. Yeah, I mean, we need more beautiful women out there who have a beautiful heart to do these things. And I think a lot of us forget that being a mother is not an easy thing. You know what I mean? Especially a single mother who's
being
looking
a
out
mother
for their
and a
kids.
father. I mean, I feel sorry
mother
for.
and a father.
I do apologize to my kids. I send them texts and apologize, knowing who I was back then. You talk to my kids, they'll tell you, when I say something, they better do it. Because I had to work 3 jobs. And I had to come home, everybody already set things to do. They take care of each other. The 3 older ones have to take care of the little ones. They go to school. So we had a system that I had to sit down with them and say, hey, I can't do this on my own. I need all you guys. Your dad make a choice, he's gone, but can we survive in this country, in America? Yeah, we can. And it was, and I have to own up for my part, because I was horrible. I did beat up my kids because I was beat up. Thank goodness the 3 little ones, they didn't really get that part of me, because I see that person was not good. So I finally make the change with my 3 little kids. But then at the same time, I don't know, because I was just too busy working. I was barely home to see them. But at the same time, they understand what I was doing is to provide for them. But now I think they forgive me.
I'm sure they do. I think that's just something that I think a lot of people in our culture probably struggle with. But I think it's just kind of like how we rise from that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure those texts that you send your kids now, I'm sure that they totally take that to heart.
Yeah. One thing I really love about Noah's story is that, no matter where you are in life, there's possibilities to change.
Yeah.
And even in your darkest moments, you do have opportunities to either change or to be the victim of your circumstance. Yeah. And so bit by bit, you rebuilt Elenoa to be who you are today, and it's never ending, right?
Yeah.
I get Polynesian clients in my office who are 60s, mid 60s, and even 70s, and it's such an honor to be in that space with them, because they are still continuing to learn. My mom is 73, 74, and she's always continuing to learn. She's in all these different coaching programs, and it's just inspiring to see the opportunity that you took to change.
Right, there's always room for growth.
Yeah, even now, sending texts to your kids. I mean, me too. It's hard as a single mom and a single dad. I mean, I'm a mom and I'm a dad. I'm a provider, protector, and I'm a nurturer and the homemaker. And so I do include my children in a lot of the things that I do as well. And I'm learning. I'm not perfect, but I am learning as well.
And I think that you can learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I always have to tell that to myself every morning. I'm like, Lynn, today's going to be a great day. You're going to learn something new. You're going to take something, but you have to be open, to be able to take that in and learn from it. Like you two are strong women who found a way to get out of a situation you were in to become successful. And for those of you that are out there that don't have that willpower, you guys took it upon yourself to do something to be able to be that resource and help for them. Which I think is just so beautiful, and just like watching you and listening to you, I mean, it's powerful already, and we are just barely touching on what you're all about. So when We Care For You came about, like, how was that process?
So sometimes I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith that whatever is presented to me, even though I don't know how to do it, He will direct people my way to help me to help me to do it. And so even though I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I force myself to do it, because it's where I don't want to do, it's where I grow, it's where I learn, it's where I make the change within myself. And so it's funny, because all of a sudden I get a phone call, because we put out on social media, all these type of things that I don't even know how to do it. But then you have people that comes your way to help you do these type of things. And then it just grow from there. I get from one client to another client to just referral. Most of my clients are just referral. It's just because they know so and so, and to them, that family, it speaks so much volume in their life. So most of my clients just come through referral.
From word of mouth.
Yeah, from your work, your
From
good
my
ethics.
I was just going
Yeah.
to say that, just
Yeah.
because your work has proven to people.
Yes.
So that's all sometimes it takes. You know, I mean, you get lucky. And then with social media, that's how you can like find resources that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And it's just like when you go in there to meet them for the first time, I always request to meet with them, meet with the family, meet with the clients. Because to me, the first thing I want to see is the client. We get attached. Because we truly love our clients, we kind of, I don't know what it is, but, you know, my husband would say to me, "You're scary."
Oh,
Because I serve, sometimes you go into a client who passed away an hour later or a week later, and nobody's really there. No kids, no loved ones. So you basically be there for them for their last moment in life. And at the same time, I witness a lot of miracle through this process. And you'll be the one to kneel down with that individual and pray. And I tell you, there is sometimes I pray, I don't even know what's coming out of my mouth. But then again, the Lord knows that individual. He knows what he needs. And through that change, through me, my voice, to
and you were
navigate
put there
them.
for a reason.
You're basically put there for a reason. So my work is, it can be scary for some people when I talk about it.
It's definitely not for the weak. Definitely not for the weak.
And some of my caregivers, they don't want to be there until they die. And it's okay, because they come and they'll love on that individual up until that moment. I'll get a phone call. "No, I don't think he's going to make it about a week."
Oh, wow.
So I go in there, I tell the family, "Okay, if you have family out there that needs to be here, this is time to bring them in." I can tell when they're declining pretty fast, and I can tell when they're not.
Wow.
So it's a different gift, what we do, so that we
Definitely.
can navigate to the family what they need to do to start the process of everything.
Wow.
So
Wow. So the process of like you taking care of these patients of yours, like what's the communication like with their families? Is it constant or when they just show up to the house?
no, once I sign up a client, I put them with caregiver, and normally I only like one or two caregiver. If it's more hours, I put two caregiver where they can rotate and make enough money for themselves, but also for the clients and the family to know only two people.
Yeah.
The hard part with an agent is that they'll put 7 caregiver in one home in 1 week.
Oh,
It's not so
wow.
So
personal.
it's so confusing
Yeah.
for the clients. They're already going through, life changing
issues,
and
right.
memory, and so that's what we do. We make sure there's 2 reliable caregiver, or just one if it's not so much hour. And then what we do is I put them in a group text.
Oh, nice.
So we constantly talking every day. I know what's going on with the caregiver and what the family wants. So it's a communication between the caregiver and the family
And a
myself.
peace of mind.
I love that.
It really does gives the family a peace of mind,
Yeah.
knowing that they can be at home or they can be far away, but they can see what's going on. Even taking picture, send it up, what they're eating, everything, communication as far as medicine, whatever it may be. And if a caregiver is not there, I'm over there. I just wanted the family to make sure they have a full support from my company to them. And that's what we're signing up for.
How many employees do you have now that are out in the field?
6. Sometimes you have to give up some clients because it's not in line with your caregiver. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay losing money because my caregiver are not happy going to work. When you're dealing with
Difficult?
people, so the kids doesn't have the what do you call with the court bylaw to be ready to make decision for their parents. So the wife is making decision for the clients, which is the husband. The wife is very controlling, everything that we do. And so I'm like, okay,
It's not a good fit.
it's not a
Not
good
a good fit.
Yeah.
It's
I
time
didn't
to take
never
out.
even really thought about that. That's
Oh, yeah.
Well, I like that because
I love it.
it should always be a win-win-win, right?
Yes. If
In
your caregiver is
business.
not happy,
Yeah.
if people that works for you that take care of your business and you're taking care of their
Right,
family,
right.
if they're not happy,
Right.
then
It's not
that's
gonna
not
work.
good.
Yeah.
You know, it's my
Right.
job then to go find more.
And it's not like
Yeah.
you're doing it for the money. Obviously, the money is part of the business, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you're actually putting their feelings,
Yeah.
and you're taking care of your employees.
Yeah.
Especially employees. I mean, I love the clients, but your employees got to come first. Because they're the one who goes out there and do the work. And I know what it's like doing the work. Mentally, it's draining to be there all that time. And a lot of time you go in there and then the client's brand new to you. They don't know you. So I'm sending the caregiver, you have to stay downstairs. You can come out and pick on them, but your job is to stay downstairs. And the caregiver will stay there for 10 hours or, you know. So it's really not a easy things, but at the same time, they got to provide for their family. But at the same time, they're fine. They're watching movie downstairs. They're just still talking on their phone, whatever they can do to get by with the hours. But it's about taking care of your caregiver and make sure they're good with that, with who you put them with. At the same time, it's understanding the clients, because if the caregiver is not providing what they're supposed to or not doing what they're supposed to, you gotta listen to them as well. So.
And kind of be observant, because the clients that you're going to are all different. Some of them have different disabilities, or if they're
Different need.
just older,
Right.
you know. And I mean,
a
what
lot of
is the
work.
process? It is a lot of work. What do your employees go through? What's the process for you to be able to pick them to be part of your business?
Well, they'll have to sit down with me personally. I handpick everybody. Just because for me, small is better than big. I rather just do small and then know my caregiver, know the people I'm putting with, and just grow from there. Grow small. I'm very scared of being so big, just because maybe I'm controlling in a way, but
I think you just have a really
You
good
understand?
system. Yeah, I think you have a really good system, and you're taking care of each component in your business.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it really is a representation of you and your work. And so you're very
Exactly.
particular with that,
Yeah.
which I feel like is very
Oh, good. That
necessary.
makes me feel better.
I mean, and if it grows,
yeah.
you know, then just let it grow naturally.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
I
by
love
then
that.
you're going to grow with the business.
That's it.
Yes.
Grow
I
with
mean,
it.
Jeez.
Yes,
I mean,
I
I take
love
care of
that.
my mother. We were discussing earlier, and so I'm her caregiver, and she has like early stages of dementia, and it's getting worse and
yeah.
worse by the day. And it's all about having those same conversations over and over and over, like they're the first conversation, or like just trying to get one thing that she holds on to in her head, and then you just have that same conversation about that. And I was telling you earlier, like my mom's siblings came to the house the other day for one of their siblings who was not doing well. But then my mom thought that they were coming to the house because she was sick and she was dying. You know, so now that's
Yeah.
ingrained in her head. So now I need to try to have different conversations to try to get that away from her head, like telling her that her brother's been sick for years. And then she's like, oh, okay. You know, so it's really, really hard, you
Yeah.
know, and it's definitely not for the weak.
No.
You know, it's mentally draining.
draining, yeah.
And a lot of people just don't really understand that, especially people who are not Polynesian, who really don't understand, like, you take care of your parents.
Yeah.
You take care of your own.
You take
Yeah.
care
And
of your own.
we're really good at that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I used to have clients in the homeless shelter, and there's no Polynesians there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because we take care of our own, and in this, you know, caregiving space, we do take care of our own elderly as well.
Yes.
You know, I am sure. I mean, my mom,
Right.
she's still very coherent and stuff, but she's declining. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We took care of her mom, and you know what I mean, and whatnot. So we do.
I
that.
mean, it's just in our blood.
It is.
We don't
It's what we
think
were
about
raised
it.
up
We
with.
just
Right, you don't think about it. It's just
Yeah.
something you do. It's just
Yeah.
common sense,
Yeah.
but you know, my common sense cannot be your common sense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just all different, but we all have that. We come from that same love and compassion, but how we put it out there. I mean, you're putting it out there through being a therapist and being
Yeah.
a coach, and you're doing
Yeah.
it with this business.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different ways to help our people
Yeah.
and the community. And you do it not just for Polynesians, right? You're open to all different clients.
Yes, we did have an Indian clients, but I feel like they're pretty much the same as far as declining, mentally declining, physical declining, is pretty much the same. Everybody's the same, but everybody with the different culture they have different preferences in what they want to do or eat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But one thing they do love is laugh.
I love that.
And
I
you know
mean,
how us
good
Polynesian
for the
loves to
soul.
laugh for free, right?
Yes.
For
We laugh
free
at
and
every little
loud.
thing.
Yes.
But
So
laughing's great, you know, it
Yes.
just
Yeah.
keeps us
So good for the
young. It
soul.
keeps
that's
us young.
that's one thing they love about us is that we laugh in every little things they say or we do. So they love that companionship.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Okay, well, that was deep and we loved it. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Yay! Wow, that's a mouthful.
That was good.
Uteva aya oe mafana umiti be a omoe leanga o elava esiniolo ulanga ola ulupesina elele mai fisanga ola uatau apa nei oi matau tama o te usu le nei pese I loanga lau pele o te alofa ia oe ia so uma o le nei o langa pele o te alofa ia oe ia so uma o le nei o langa o langa. O le alofa wa fa'ava leina o le rosa sasala si mea mativa o lo songi la sima lo toe upo e fai mai e fai ama vaiola o te mapuai alo ia lau foe so falo fa moe moe o te usu o le nei pese moe lau pele o te alofa ia oe ia so uma o le nei o langa pele o te alofa ia oe ia so uma o le nei o langa o langa.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Everyday People, Utah Pacifica Chapter. I'm your co-host Lynn Katoy here with my lovely co-hosts Celia Moleni and Elenoa Saafi Totai. If you're just joining us, we're just talking about caregiving, and yeah, so we've been having deep conversations. We don't have that much time left, but your stories have been so wonderful. But I just kind of wanted to go back to what we were talking about before the break, is like, I was telling everybody that I'm the caretaker for my mother, as you all know. And it's just, the topic came up about, you know, like just preparing the family for their death. You know, so it's just one of those things. I'm obviously going to be a huge wreck when my mom passes away, but just by being her caretaker is kind of like softening that blow a little bit. Oh my gosh, I don't want to cry, but it's helped me. You know what I mean? It's helped me cope with it. It's just a feeling that nobody else understands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like having the same conversations over and over and over, like it's the first conversation, and laughing at the same joke constantly. You know, but it's a blessing for me, not even in disguise. It's just a straight up blessing for me. And I know that I share the same feeling as many of you that are out there, especially with you two, you know, so it's just, what can you like tell people like on that, like how to prepare for this, or like, because I don't even know if there's even a way, I'm sure there's a plan, but it probably never goes the way it goes. But just how would you help a family prepare for that?
Right, good question. So a lot of time I would have to sit down with the kids, and out of all the kids, you would have one particular child that is very close to their loved one. And a lot of time they're always going to be want to do this, do that. But at the same time, for me, I know that's not good for the clients. So I will speak out for the clients. I'm very direct, I'm very straight. I said, hey, I know you love your mom, I know you love your dad, and you want the best for him or her. This is how we can do it. Would you be okay with it? And they'll be like, okay, let's talk. You know, because at the same time, you think that by giving them food, making them drink more, making them do this, or dragging them here and there, you know, it's helping them, but it's really not helping them. It's just you. If there's a time you're like with your mom, she's gonna tell you, oh, I wanna go this and this and this, but you know it's not good for her. At the same time, you still wanna do it. This is where it's tough decision for you. You gotta look at, okay, I wanna do it because she asked for it, and then, but I know this is not good for her. This is where you have to control yourself to know, okay, I gotta do what's best for my mom. She doesn't understand this is not good for her. So it's always challenging for kids to have that understanding that, okay, now you got to do what's best for them. You got to make that decision. She's going to ask, it's just like a child. She's going to ask to travel. Like I have a client that in summer he goes to, he comes here, but in winter in summer he goes to, what's this place? It's very hot. Oh, forgot.
Everywhere.
Anyways, so he goes there and come here in winter. But this time around, I can already tell that he was declining. And the son, which is the older son, who do everything he say, I said to him, this is not a good idea. But of course, he win. He wants to take his dad. They were driving there. It's like 9 hours drive. He would call me, oh, my dad, I think there's something wrong with him. And so instead of saying to him, I told you so, I kind of coach him a little bit of what to do now. You need to stop doing this until you get there. When they got there, he was mentally declining. But he wasn't. He was physically declining, but not mentally. So when he got to that house, he doesn't even know that house. He doesn't even know the caregiver that is there. He doesn't even know a lot of stuff. So I said, hey, I think you need to bring him back now. So they turned around flying him here, and it was very hard. So
oh my gosh.
So that's when I had to sit down with him, and I said to him, okay, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. And I'm talking on his behalf, because obviously you can't control that part of you of loving your dad. There has to be a time and point where you need to make decision for your dad. Even though he tells you and you think he's still mentally, but he's not. He's declining, he's no longer eating. So I kind of lay out all the things that I see that is declining for him, so he can kind of understand. It was a little tough talking with him, but he finally understands.
Right, and I wonder sometimes when people or kids or anybody who makes those hard decisions, that they're doing it out of guilt.
Maybe it has to do with
You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm going to take her because she's my mom. It's like, well, you know in your head a little bit that she probably shouldn't be doing that, but you do it because you're like trying to make up for lost times. And I think a lot, well, me personally, that like if you bring your service, the caregiver goes in and takes care of the family, but then the family just does not want to see the decline, or they're just not ready to face that. You know, so those are just things what I think about when I'm sitting there at home. I'm like, do my siblings not want to see the decline? Or because then when they come to the house, they just talk to her like everything's normal, or get angry or raise their voices because they have to repeat themselves. But then I have to pull them to the side. I'm like, she does not remember.
Yeah.
You need to have these same conversations over and over, like it's the first
Right.
period.
Yeah.
You know, so I wonder if I'm sure you see that,
Oh, yeah,
like
a lot.
guilt that comes from the family.
A lot. And some of them are just controlling.
That too.
Oh, Mom, you can't do that. You can't do that. And I'm like, you know, it's sometimes, so my caregivers don't usually say anything, but I do. So usually when I talk to them and I said, if you see certain things, let me know. But at the same time, I do pop in. I do visit. So that way I can kind of see what's going on, and I can actually tell when their client is declining. And I don't know how. It's weird. But I feel like I have been gifted with a certain gift because this is what I'm serving in this life, just like what you do.
Jeez, I mean, two gifted and talented and educated women right here. I'm just so honored to be sitting in between the both of you, just listening to your stories. I mean, you guys are just wonderful people. But I also kind of wanted to just touch base on, I know you're part of the Women's Executive Alliance group.
Yes.
So give us a little chat about that. How's that going?
Well, there's going to be some changes.
Okay.
It's coming up. La Wolfgram used to be our president.
Oh, I love her.
We love her.
I love
we
her.
are
She's
kind of
doing big
very
things, too.
emotional
Love you, La.
that she make that decision to step down. But you know what? That it is what it is. You know, if you feel like that your family needs you more and your work needs you more, that's a good decision. And we're still going to be here. You know. Looking forward for new people that we have in line to be the president. So looking forward for that.
Well, and what great things that you guys been doing. You know, I'd be following that too. And like you were saying, like sometimes, you know, you have to choose family first. Or I'm not saying that was the reason, you know what I mean, but there's always bigger things that you kind of have to like take care of yourself first before you can help other people.
I mean, especially like for me, myself, if I have some time to give, then yes, I'll stay. But if I know that my plates are full as far as my business and my family, then I'll have to scale back.
Right.
You know, and that's what it is with this kind of program. We are given an opportunity to serve our community. And whether you give your 100% time or you give 5% time, you know, people needs to, we take it. We take whatever time you have because we're not getting paid. You know, we're not getting paid. But
so your heart has to be in it 100%.
Yeah, you have to be in it, and you have to be in it for serve. But if you know you cannot, it's okay. It's okay to step back and say, hey, I got to do this first. In order for us to serve fully, you got to make sure that you have some room in your place to do so.
Right, because, I mean, perception's everything, you know, as a leader, you know, I mean, people kind of feel that.
Yeah.
You know, so, oh my gosh, I am just so grateful to have you guys on the show today. My lovely co-host over here. Give us your final thoughts.
For us women, continue to grow. Continue to get out of your comfort zone. Continue to seek help and be ready to accept the help that is given. And I think for me, a lot of time, I just have to own up for the things that I know that I've done wrong and, you know, apologize about it and then not blaming everybody else for my wrongdoing, but understanding it and then learn from it and then grow. I think that's my biggest things is learning. Continue to learn, continue to grow for you so that you can better your family and the people that you serve.
Well, it sounds like there's been already a lot of growth there and you're doing wonderful things, you know, so can't dwell on the past too much, but it'll always be there,
learn.
You know, but we're so proud of you and I'm so happy that you were here today.
Yeah, so proud.
What about you, girl?
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. For anybody that's listening, you know, the biggest person in your life should be you. You are the sun of your whole solar system. And so when you think of the sun, you know, the sun doesn't ever question its light and how it keeps everybody and everything in alignment. But when you take care of yourself and know who you are, you're able to be just like the sun and really help so many people around you. So take care of yourself and everything will follow suit.
Wow, that's beautiful. Well, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us today. You can see us every Friday. I believe we start next Friday at 9 a.m., but we'll keep you posted on the time. Well, thanks for joining us here at Everyday People, the community podcast. We will see you next week. And don't forget to click, like, and share. You can also see all of our videos on our social media at Everyday People, the Utah Pacifica chapter. Anyways, like my co-host here said, you are the sun, be the light. All right, take care, guys.
Yes, you said it.